Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 47 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of ATM10. Look at us, we are in cool town area. So I think over here-ish is going to be where I set up my fissile fuel production line. Now, we're going to need a lot more fissile fuel production than we normally make. So what I'm going to try to do is change up how I normally operate my fissile fuel production, and we'll see what happens. So step one, we're going to need a lot. I'm thinking Laser IO is where I'm going to do a lot of this, especially because Laser IO can do chemical cards now, which is like a cool thing that I'm proud of myself for implementing a version or two ago. So like, let's be prepared to import all my Laser IO stuff. So we have lots of cards, and I assume we're going to need lots of overclockers, but I think I might have some left over from the last time I needed lots of overclockers. Do I have enough still? A little bit. Cool. All right, and we'll probably need, at least 10 more item cards. Sweet. Okay, so my plan is to do things differently than normal. Rather than doing my standard build of, like, the machines push into each other, what I'm going to do is maybe have like a section for each type of machine, maybe like a vertical column of them or something, and then we can transfer components from one to the other using Laser IO. Does that sound cool? Because my suspicion is like what's going to happen is I'm going to get to a point where I need like more of one thing. Like let's just pick, like I know like usually we bottleneck on like sulfuric acid production, right? So like maybe I need to make more chemical infusers to combine, right? And that, like that's my thoughts on how that's going to play out. I don't know for sure, but I think we try. I think we try and take a different approach than normal. Okay, so let's start with the end result. Now, because things are going to be laser IO'd, we don't care kind of how we position things. So I'm going to start with you. Now, you're the only thing that probably can't be verticalized, right? If I made another isotropic, can I put these on top of each other? I guess I technically can, but they might look funny. But what I could do is like just throw another dude on top of, right? So I assume I can't just like do that, right? Yeah, it's going to be weird. But what I could do is something like that, so that if we need two of them, we can, right? I think that's cool. And remember, because of Laser IO, we can do the sidedness thing. I can, stuff. So I think this is a cool plan. All right, so let's, cruise into what we need to do. Now, part of me is questioning if I want, like, I might want to double up certain machines for simplicity. I don't know, we'll see. I do need to power everything anyway, so I might as well. So let's start with uranium oxide, right? So we're going to need a chemical infuser, right? So that's going to be you, okay? And let's have like a 1 block space between each. I like that, okay? And then you're going to be hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide. I might wind up, because we don't care where these go necessarily, I might do, just to as a mock setup, I think it would be smart to kind of stick with the way I normally do it in terms of like where I position things. So this will still be in the middle so that it'll representative of how things are, right? So or I could like push this out a little bit. That could be cool because that's usually how I do it, right? Yeah, I just don't like the idea. I wanted like a line. I wanted like a one-dimensional, well, I guess that, yeah, two-dimensional, I guess, because they're going to go up, line. So I normally the only one that goes in the front here is the isotropic centrifuge. So you know what? Let's just put that at the very end. And everything else, I like that plan, can be otherwise aligned. Cool? Yeah. And I think there will be enough space behind, or do I want to bump it up? One, because I might, yeah, I might want to have it like this. We'll see. Well, I'm gonna split the diff and do that. Okay, so chemical infuser, you're gonna go there, and then to the right of you will be the chemical oxidizer and the enrichment chamber, right? So chemical oxidizer for this bit, and then enrichment chamber. And we'll like tier upgrade and speed upgrade once we have everything fleshed out a little bit, right? So uranium's going to go in here, and then it's going to transfer the items to here, and then it's going to transfer the gas, I think it is, or fluid, or whatever this stuff is. Yeah, I can't tell. I think it's a gas to here. Okay. And then we're going to want, actually, yeah, that hydrofluoric acid, right? That's going to be a chemical dissolution chamber from sulfuric acid, which is going to be a chemical infuser. Okay. Now I might do something behind. I like the idea of doing something behind because that's not uncommon for me. So you're going to do water vapor, which is a decondensator, and sulfur trioxide, which is another chemical infuser. So we're going to want the decondensator here. Okay. And then you guys are pretty much done. That'll be sulfur trioxide. And then we need sulfur dioxide, which is your oxidizer. And oxygen, which is your electrolytic separator. Cool. And that's like a deconstructed uranium fissile fuel production chain. Is that cool? I think it's cool. And then we can laser IO all the things, right? So we're going to do this, and we're going to have nobody auto outputting, right? We're just going to have laser IO control all the gases, the fluids, and most importantly, the energy going into this stuff. And so what I will get is a nitro energy cell, which should be relatively easy. Okay, so that here we can extract a million Fe, right? And then you'll insert, and that'll be cool. That is the wrong laser. So you, those two, you, to those two. And then, like I said, as we expand this setup, if it turns out, hey, we need more of these dissolution chambers, I can just stack them up and throw more laser IO nodes on top. Is that cool? So it's a different approach, so that's why I'm not doing it off camera. Like, I know you guys have seen me do this design a lot of times, like, where they're all touching each other. I'm changing it up, and we're going to do this fully with laser IO. And try to make it modular so we can easily add and remove mechanics as we see fit. So that's the plan, as it were. So let's get going with stuff and filtering and transferring of things, right? So we're going to want some kind of input, right? So let's start with a chest, but eventually this is going to be like something that's not a chest. Either this will be like a laser IO coming in, or it'll be a quantum tunnel from Applied Energistics, right? But what we're also ultimately going to want is some sulfur, which, as you can see, I've got sulfur essence coming in. We're going to want some uranium, which should not be a problem. And then fluorite, which will also be cool, right? And that's all of our base components. And I think it's cool for me to just do that, okay? Now, before I set up any item extracts here, let's make sure we know exactly what's going where and how many. So here, you're going to get an item insert that will filter on sulfur, right? And your sidedness will be for items. You can input items in the back, and chemicals can be output out the back. You're a chemical infuser. Why are you a chemical infuser? Shouldn't you be... You're not supposed to be a chemical infuser. You're supposed to be a chemical oxidizer. Why do I have an extra chemical infuser? What did I calculate wrong here? So you come from 1 chemical infuser. Two chemical infusers. Sulfuric from trioxide. 3 chemical infusers. One, two, three. Yes. Okay. Did I make an extra chemical infuser? I may have. Not a big deal. Okay. So chemical oxidizer. Okay. Your side config will be items, input on the back. So let's just clear everything. Input on the back, output out the back. Okay. And then you're filtered on sulfur goes in here. Okay. Now, the dissolution chamber, your sidedness will be input on the back, output out the back. Is that cool? And then you're going to input with a filter of fluoride. Okay. And then over here, the enrichment chamber, your side config will be input, output on the back. And you will input on white with a filter of uranium. And then the extract will be on channel 1. You can extract, we'll probably want to overclock this. And you're going to, we probably don't need a filter. We shouldn't need a filter because that's the only thing you can make is yellow cake uranium, right? And then you're going into the chemical oxidizer. So you're going to just be input on orange. And since that's the only thing that's going on orange, like we don't need a filter. Is that cool? Now, it might make sense at some point in the future to split these all into their own separate channels. I'm questioning now if I should do that. Because what I could have is like node overclockers, right? That could be cool, actually. I'm thinking I might want to do that. I'm liking that plan, actually, now that I think about it. So, like, you're going to be... if you're going to be sulfur, let's make you yellow, right? Channel 4. And then you don't need a filter no more. And filters don't get magneted into the card unless they're empty. It's a thing that I did. It's supposed to work that way. Might be a little bit unstable, but... And then you can be like, how about blue? Because you look like a bluish kind of color. They're allowed in the card. They just won't be pulled in by the card holder's thing, right? And then you'll be green. Let's do that. Cool. I like that plan. Okay. So then over here, we can have a extract on green, right? And then you're cruising, right? And then when you process that, you're going to dump it straight into here. Why are you making gunpowder? Because you went sulfur? Oh, right, I need to filter. Yes. So your extract on green will filter for uranium. Duh. And then you can accept energy, by the way. Cool. All right, now you're going to behave, right? Yeah, I need to filter the extracts now. Guess that makes sense. Then you should get that. Right, so you've got yellow cake. So now you're extracting on orange, and you should be inserting on orange. And are your side configs not correct? They are not. So you're going to input here, and your chemicals will output there. Cool. All right, so you're making uranium oxide. Beautiful, right? And then over here, you're going to do blue will be a filter for fluorite extract, a stack of tick, and that went where it belongs. And then we want yellow, a filter will be sulfur extract, a stack of tick. Cool. Okay, now we're making progress. All right, so you've got energy coming in, so why are you draining energy? That should not be what's happening. Oh, I know why. Because your energy side is not allowing input on the back. Okay. Yeah, I guess when I cleared them, I blocked energy from coming in, so that's fair. All right, so then let's go down the line with processing, right? So you're making that, you're making that. So now we need to extract the uranium oxide, which we will call yellow. Uranium oxide looks yellowish. So you're going to extract 15 buckets a second. We'll see if that's enough, but I think that should be plenty. And if I need to overclock this, I can. And that's going to go in... So let's do the sidedness of this guy, because that's going to be tricky, right? So for sidedness, for chemicals, we're going to want... So we're going to want to know. Left, right, and front is going to be tricky, so let's do top, back, and bottom, right? So top, back, and bottom. Let's do this, right? So you will insert on purple, or insert on yellow, will be on the back face, right? So now I'm going to actually remove you for a sec so that I can put you in here first. So your insertion will be on the back face, because if we're making you, we want the uranium oxide to go to slot 2, right? I don't think it actually matters, so we'll do that on top. So you will be yellow on the up face as an insert. And then if I do this, that should go in there. Is that cool? I feel like it's cool. I feel like it's cool. And then let's give you power so that you can keep running. All right, so that's working, and that's cool. And now is a good time to mention the sponsor of this video, CreeperHost. CreeperHost has offered to give us a 25% discount off the lifetime of their services as long as you sign up using the affiliate link in the description of this video. Thank you, CreeperHost, for sponsoring this video. And now, back to playing. All right, so now that this guy is cool and we've got our uranium oxide coming in here, let's start this process chain, right? So you're making sulfur dioxide, right, which is a gas. So we're going to want to have you go into here on slot 2. So again, the side config for chemicals will be back will be 2, top will be 1, output will be bottom. Is that cool? And we'll call this like a brownish kind of color, right? So like so far for gases, we're using yellow. So we'll call this like a brown, if you will. So you're going to insert on brown. Okay. And you will extract on brown. Cool. So sulfur dioxide goes in. Beautiful. Now, we're going to need water here, right? So let's get a sink, right? Because we're actually going to need water for 2 things. One will be... and you're going to be on the sink side, you're going to be fluid, and you're going to be blue for water. Okay. And we might want to speed that up a little bit. So you're going to be an electrolytic separator and a rotary concentrator. So for you, your side config for fluids will be input on all sides. So that means you can be an insert on blue. Okay. And energy. And you're going to need energy too while we're at it. And that's cool. Now, the only thing we care about here is oxygen, right? Because you combine with oxygen. So you're, again, going to be dumping excess of hydrogen. Okay. And then this will be a light blue. So what we're going to say is on the top, you're going to insert on light blue. Okay. So your color side will be light blue. And you'll insert on the up face. And you're going to extract, but your front will be output 2. So for chemicals, your front will be output 2. Okay, and you're going to be light blue as an extract. Cool. And you're making sulfur trioxide, which is what I would want to see. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. You're also going to insert on blue. And do I do it this way? Deconcentrating. Cool. All right, so your gas, let's call that light gray. Okay, so you're going to, so you combine with water vapor. So again, you're going to be side configured for chemicals will be... The back will be input 2, the top will be input 1, and the bottom will be the output. Okay? So you're going to insert on the back channel 8, and your side config for chemicals will be to output out the front. And only input on the front. And that's cool, right? So then you're going to be light gray, extract, water vapor is going in O2, right? And then sulfur trioxide, which is kind of like a pinkish color. So we'll go with an insert on channel 6, but you're going to go in the top. And you're going to extract on channel 6 from the bottom. And that's going in there, and now you're doing sulfuric acid. Cool? Okay. And sulfuric acid I'm going to call orange in color, right? Is that fair? So like over here we were using yellow, so you can use orange for sulfuric acid, right? And that goes into the chemical dissolution chamber. So you, for chemicals, will be an input on the back, and you eventually are going to be outputting out the back. So you should be input, output on back, right? Yes. So you're going to insert on orange, and you are going to extract from the bottom on orange. And there's your sulfuric acid. Oh, and you also need energy. And I'm assuming you need energy of some kind. Yeah, you're out of power too. Yeah, we're gonna need energy everywhere, actually. That's much better. Cool. Look how colorful this is. It's so cool. I'm actually quite... I don't think I've yet used laser I/O to do the fissile fuel stuff, so I'm actually enjoying the experience here, right? So we'll call hydrofluoric acid like a dark gray. So that's going to come in here on the top, right? No, it's going to come in on the back, okay? So the back will be on channel 7, right? And then you're going to extract out the bottom on channel 7. extract out the bottom on channel 7. Is that what you're doing? Oh, actually not off the bottom. This one we stay on the default. Sweet. And then you're making uranium hexafluoride, which is like a greenish, right? We haven't used green yet, have we? For chemicals? I don't think so. I really need to add that thing where I can like look up what channels are in use across the whole network. It's like, I have all these ideas for things I want my mods to do, and then I have no time to do any of them. Cool. Oh, and you're gonna need power. Okay. So you're gonna extract on green, and then you just take that uranium hexafluoride and centrifuge it, right? So you're gonna insert on green. Yeah, your laser direction is gonna be weird, but that's okay, I guess. And your side config, can we alter you? So on the back, what I'd like you to do for chemicals is to be input-output on the back. Yeah, because it's connecting to the center of the model. So, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so then you are going to extract on green out the bottom, right? So you're going to be an extract on green out the bottom. And that means you're now running, again, needing power. And that's fissile fuel production using laser I/O. How cool is that? Okay. Now what I'd like to do is have a tank sitting here. I don't need it to be a particularly large tank, I don't think, but I'd like it to start building up. Did I make an elite? I guess I did. I meant for a smaller one. I guess I'll make a big one. I guess we could do a big ultimate chemical tank. I guess that's fine, right? Like, I'm hesitant to, like, go too crazy on it. Like, I don't even know if I need a tank, to be fair. Because I should be able to just do this. And we just might need, like, one of these guys to be an intermediary, because that's a long distance. Laser's, like, max 8 blocks-ish. So, like, if I stuck you kind of, like, here, you'd be able to connect to there and there, no problem, right? So that's a black. Right, so I think that's where we should, you know, be inserting on black. So on the north, or on the west face, you're going to insert on black. And you can therefore extract on black. And if we check now, we should be building up with fissile fuel. Slowly but surely. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to want mechanism upgrades. I'm definitely going to want, like, 32 chemical upgrades. I think there's only 1 or 2 machines that accept chemical upgrades, but I'm still going to, like, do it. And I'm going to get 40 more of each of these. Oh, we're low on copper of all things? That's cool beans. Do we have any, like, raw copper? We have enough that I can, like, do what I need to do. That's funny, we have copper essence and we're getting low on copper. I guess, to be fair, we've probably been using a lot of copper. And I bet you copper is not even on the fast growth tier. Cool. What I do want to check is, so you're at 2450, let's say 2500. I'm going to wait, like, a full minute here. And see, like, it should be around 3,000 or more, right? By the time I get back there. So give me a minute. I'm going to see if this chunk load. This is my chunk loading test to see if it's working. All right, I think enough time has passed. I waited like 5 minutes here. So how much? Nope. So we definitely need to chunk load this area. Does not load. Okay, so now we're sitting around 3,000. So we leave, and the question is, will it be like 5,000 or more when I come back? All right, I'm going to call that enough time. Oh, I didn't. I forgot to shift click. There we are. Good. We're over 5,000. So that's cool. Yeah. Surprisingly, like, just over 5,000. But it's still, it moved, right? Like, that's the key. So now let's speed upgrade all these guys that we can. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have my mechanism upgrades So you're cool, and I wanted 40 more of you, by the way. Cool, we'll start with this. 1, 2, 3, right? So that should be much more quickly doing that, right? Now we're going to run out of stuff, obviously, but that's okay. Okay. And then we're going to do this. And we're going to do that. That one definitely uses it, so that's cool. And I feel like we're getting to the end of the episode here. And this guy can be tier upgraded, but he's the only one who can. Alright, so that's cool, right? I like it. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap up the episode here. We'll keep an eye on stuff for a few minutes. I might need to, like, speed up the rate at which we extract things, but I don't know yet. I'm going to keep an eye on this for a little bit. But yeah, like, maybe 1 second isn't... Because I'm extracting every second, right? So once everything kind of, like, stabilizes-ish here... Like, we're being out of sulfur is bad, but, like, I can always throw more sulfur in to, like, validate stuff. Oh, and I put sulfur in drawers, but I didn't put upgrades in them, so, like, that's a to-do. Alright, but now we're definitely, like, accumulating stuff. So let's wrap up here. Double 20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and try turning this bad boy on with a higher rate limit than 0.01 millibuckets per tick. And then we'll try scaling this out and expanding it, just for funsies. Alright, for now, take it easy.